Okay, everyone. So the goal here is to kind of understand the difference between case studies and quantitative research. So this can be tricky. This can be difficult. Don't worry too much. Remember, it's going to be short. The goal here is qualitative. Now, this is positivism, basically cause and effect. So we can write it here. There you go, right there. Look at this, even something there. Now, I'm in Rstudio. R is the statistical environment to allow us to do statistical analysis. And then Rstudio is the user-friendly interface. We're not up to this part yet where we're going to be doing our Rstudio. You don't have to do it. You just have to understand it at this level. But when I teach statistics, you actually have to use it. But it's free. It's open source. So this is a qualitative case study. Look at cause and effect. Case study 1, Nicaragua had a revolution in 1979. Now, this could be anything. This just happens to be kind of more my area. Case study 2, El Salvador had a guerrilla movement, that is insurrection, a lot of non-state activity that was trying to overthrow the government, but they failed to overthrow the government. So you would do these two. So variance is on the dependent variable, that is whether there was a revolution or not, or an overthrow of the government or not. Those are in-depth case studies. So you'd look into those. Maybe you speak Spanish, you use your language skills. You don't have to, but you can. You look at local newspapers, you try to develop theory, etc. Why was there an overthrow of the government? That is a revolution in Nicaragua, but at the same time, there was not in El Salvador. There could be a wide range of interacting variables. Remember, independent variables are the causal variables. And you try to ferret those out to see if you can create maybe a theory or just understand why there was a revolution in one country and why not another. That's what you're really looking at. So it's very, very interesting. You're doing this kind of in-depth case study work, and variance on the dependent variable, that's the result in this case, whether there was a revolution or not a revolution, right? And I talked about Bashar al-Assad, how he survived, but say Mubarak of Egypt did not. And you can do this in a wide range of issues, like why does one state have good education and another not? You know, these are very, very important issues. Why was the Korean War to a certain degree a success, but the Vietnam War was not? What are the variables in that? A large N study switching, this is the data set I was talking about, where this is large N, not small n. So small n is more 1, 2, 3 case studies. This one is large, and look at how many data points you have. This is quantitative. Wow, 1,309 people on the Titanic. So you say to yourself, oh, wow, here's survived, yes or no. Now, we're not going to run it now, but I will later. This is just the goal to understand the difference between a qualitative case study and quantitative. So you have all these variables, right? That's the dependent variable, the result. Did you survive, yes or no? There's a variable, sex, male or female. Did that have a result? And then I didn't look at age because there's too many NAs, no answers. So it's the data is probably a little skewed. But then you have passenger class. You have first class, and it seems to be in second. A lot of first class, second class, and third class. So you have all these classes. So this is a large N quantitative research. Did the sex, you wouldn't say cause, but maybe is sex correlated with yes or no? Meaning, did sex help predict, that is gender, whether one survived or didn't? Did passenger class, first, second, or third, predict whether one died or not? And then when we get into, how do you read these quantitative analyses, then you'll be able to kind of understand, okay, yeah, see, so there's a statistically speaking, a relationship between gender, here they say sex, and survival. There might or might not be a, relationship between passenger class and survival. So that's what you're looking at with large N studies in the social sciences. I think that this is an interesting one because this is a true data set. This is the Titanic data set. So it's very interesting. And I run it, particularly you'll learn to run it if you take a statistics class with me. So, and this is all free. This is our studio. So that's the difference. Here you have qualitative case studies, right? Very in-depth case studies, right? Learning about Nicaragua and El Salvador. And here you have the Titanic. You're not learning about these people. There's so many, over 1,000 data points in this one. that this is a large N, large number study. So that is the difference, the main difference in positivism, cause and effect, right? In the social sciences between, say, a large N quantitative study and a small N case study qualitative. And when we get to process tracing, that is looking at the interacting variables that led to the different results. Here we're only looking at one variable, sex and female, male and female, and then possibly passenger class, and to see if those have it. But in the in-depth case study, you might have a lot of different variables interacting that are unique to this case, right? And that you need to understand through good qualitative research. So that's it, everyone, and take care. And if you have any questions, please ask me in community forum.